Have you ever been trapped on an elevator with a Bitcoin bro? What about you're out walking your dog and a Dogecoin hodler tackles you and talks for you for 20 minutes about where Doge is going and the support lines? Well, if you're a Bitcoin bro, you've probably had a pretty good year here. You've probably had a pretty good 10 years, to be honest. Crypto has been a crazy space to watch for 10 years. What's interesting is we want to take a different asset class, 0DTE options, and there's of course a million ways to trade them. But what we're going to do is look at, can you get anywhere close to the performance? And how does the volatility look if you were to track 0DTE options and a certain backtest or trade in that versus Bitcoin? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a backtest for 2024, 1 year, the whole year up till now, and we're going to look at how this 0DTE trade did versus Bitcoin. Let's get into it. Okay, here's the backtest we're going to use. Now, I'm going to make a few changes. In full disclosure, I'm recording this on December 12th. I do not know what is going to happen with Bitcoin or with SPX or with the options market the rest of the year. It's just Christmas time. We're 2 weeks away from Christmas. It's time. So let's look at this backtest, and I'm going to make a couple changes. There's versions of this concept that have been floating around on OO for, I think, most of the year. If you've been on the channel and you've watched our content, watched our cigar lounges, you may have seen this test or something very similar to it. The first thing I'm going to do is let's match the price of Bitcoin. So I will get the price of Bitcoin in here. So on January, TradingView tells me Bitcoin was at that 42,289. And the second thing we're going to do, let's go down here and let's look at these times. So this test is at 2 p.m., but it's every day. And so the 2 p.m. is a tricky time. There are a couple times in backtesting, 10 a.m., 3:50 p.m., and 2 p.m. that I a lot of times will stay away from. So here's a list of the minutes around 2 p.m. Let's choose 157. That's not the highest or the lowest MAR. So I'm trying not to curve fit it. The reason I don't want to choose 2 is because there are news events on 2, and right at 2, the options market can get wonky. So we're going to have a more robust backtest that you can have confidence in if we pick a minute around 2. And I think the minutes before 2 test better than the minutes after 2 because of the way vol and the market move. So we're going to do 157 here. And then when we go down here, we're going to punish this harder and see if it can still hold up. Okay, so the Punisher, that's our name for the miscellaneous section down here. Let's punish it hard. Okay, so the first thing we'll do, we'll make these. So this is like the 63-cent structure. People say you can't get 63 cents per flip on SPX. You actually can. People do. There are certain brokers that have programs that get you there. We're going to do a more standard price. Actually, let's just do a very standard price. We'll do $1.25 each way. And then the real trick, though, is we're going to hit the slippage harder. So this is not using a stop loss, okay? But what it is using is a timed exit if the underline has moved past. And it's not intra-minute. It's just at the top of the minute. So usually for stop loss slippage on 0DTE, I'm in the 30 to 40 cent range. Because this isn't a stop loss, it should be a little bit more managed. We're going to do 20 cents, which I've had people tell me is higher than they've experienced. But I'm going to do it. I want to punish it. Always when I'm designing a backtest, I want to make this more realistic because this is a crazy scenario. I mean, you wouldn't, I don't think anybody would full port their test. And wow, look at that. This would have starting with 1 Bitcoin worth of cash, full porting it. Again, this is not financial advice. Pretty sure nobody who is a financial advisor is going to tell you to full port something. So this is for fun. And look at this crazy drawdown. No way. But if you full ported it, this is a crazy chart. Could you handle this? I don't know. Could you handle the Bitcoin chart? Look at that chart. At a full port with a healthy amount of entry slippage, with some exit slippage and fees, not dirt cheap fees, but like the fees that everybody complains about at 157 year to date. No blackout dates, so skipping nothing. You would have taken 42K, 1 Bitcoin, and what, more than quadrupled that. Here's what's interesting. Let's try this. Let's say you don't even have to full port it. Could you beat Bitcoin without full porting it? Let's take it in half. I don't, because of scaling, I'm not sure this is going to work. I don't think it will, but just for fun, let's see how you would do. So no, half doesn't work. Half Bitcoin's higher than that, but I bet 65% will get you close. Again, this is for fun, but it is pretty fun. And it lets you see the power that options have for good and for ill. So at 65% of a portfolio, you would have beat January 1st to December 11th. With these conditions in this backtest, you would have beat Bitcoin by a pretty sizable margin. Now, here's the thing. These super risky, super speculative assets, and I would put crypto in the speculative and risky without getting, I'm not trying to start a flame war with Bitcoin people, but in terms of the way that the normie modern perception of how risky Bitcoin is, and maybe more importantly, the volatility it's experienced in the past, trading 65% of a portfolio in an SPX 0DT options, that also would be generally considered a little more risky. But again, this is for fun, and here's the point. 26% drawdown, more than quadruple your money. It's really interesting. It's really fun. You can see it wins most of the time. Now, there are two different shorts here, and the longs are one. So the longs are always going to lose, right? They're designed to be losers. So you're always going to have losers, but you can see most of the time all your legs expire, which is what you're looking for. And when you have a loser, it can eat up a few days, right? Not always. It depends when it is and depends what the vol is. 339, small loser a week ago, but vol is very suppressed right now. If you're in a vol environment where vol is more active and you get a loser early in the backtest, early in the trade, in mid-October, vol is a lot higher than it is now. So your loser was more than 4x, just that one leg. So. And here's the comparison in a visual way. Bitcoin and the backtest at a 65% port and at a full port. Definitely YOLO territory here on this one. Again, just for fun. Anyway, something fun. We've got much more to come the rest of 2024, and we got some huge things on the horizon 2025. Thank you so much for your support this year. If you like and subscribe this video, it really helps us. Annual and monthly subs at optionomega.com. Thanks, guys. Hey, guys, one final note. If you're interested in automating your backtests, our beta for our automation platform goes live in just a couple weeks. We have a sign up here in the link below. You can just add your name to try to get early access to the Option Omega automation platform. Thanks. Merry Christmas.